I'm Lindsay from Shreve Memorial Library, and today we are going to make a cat castle out of all of these boxes. Let me show you what supplies I have besides the boxes. You might be accumulating a lot of them like I am. This is my cat Ollie. He's going to help us today. So for supplies I have, let's see, glue, packing tape, scissors, a box cutter, an X-Acto knife, some paint brushes, a bunch of craft paint, and water and some palette paper. A paper plate is just fine. I just don't happen to have any of those. And I have some fun paint markers. So you can use whatever you have around the house. The main requirements are something to cut with, some glue, ideally some tape, some packing tape, and something to decorate. Crayons work, markers work, tempera paint works well, any kind of acrylic paint. And let's get going. One thing you need to keep in mind is that these boxes need to support the weight of a probably portly cat. This one you just saw, who just jumped into his litter box, is not quite portly yet because he's still a kitten. I have another cat who probably weighs twice as much as him, and he might participate too. So we have to keep in mind the engineering of all of this, and we need these boxes to keep standing up when there's a cat standing on part of them if we're going to stack them. So I'm going to come up with a design. One thing you do need to keep in mind too is the size of your cat. Make sure you have boxes that your cat can fit into. Also make sure that any holes you cut in them are big enough for your cat to get in and out of. Also keep in mind, if you have dogs like I do, be sure and design it so your cat has multiple exits in case of dog harassment, because the last thing you want is an angry cat injuring your dog, which is what would happen at my house. So here's what I'm going to do. This one is the biggest one, so I'm going to use this one as the base. This will be above that. It's second biggest. This, I think, is going to be off to the side and be like a secret exit, because it's just big enough really for them to walk through, maybe lay down in and hide. And then this is going to go on top of the whole thing and hold this cat bed. Okay. So, keeping the engineering in mind, when I shut this box, I'm going to shut it with, sorry about that. I'm going to shut it with packing tape. When I shut this box, if I cut a hole in here, a cat can just push down on it pretty easy because it loses structural integrity if you break that tape right there, okay? So I'm going to take this, and the side I'm going to cut is going to be this part. So they can jump from this part. And I'll put the entrance. It doesn't matter so much where, like what you cut for the entrance, because it doesn't have to bear the load of a whole cat. So just keep that in mind when you are making your boxes. Okay, I've taped all of my boxes except this one. And I have decided how they're going to be configured. This is going to sit about right where I'm sitting with this little exit. There's a little hole right here that the cats can get through, and so this will enter into that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my holes. If you're a kid, get an adult to do this part for you, because A, it's hard, and B, it's dangerous. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife. You can, if you have to use scissors, you can just kind of like, stab at it like that, or else open the box again and cut it like that. It's easier to do it this way. Just again, If you're a kid, get an adult to do this for you. If you are an adult who's bad at cutting things without cutting yourself, get another adult to do it for you. Okay, so also remember, you need cat-size holes. So, you can look at your cat. Cats can fit into things that are, you know, a little bit smaller than it looks like they can. I'm going to do it at this smile right here, I guess. Let's see. I guess that part doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to cut a little doorway. Like that. A little arched doorway because it's fun and kind of looks like a castle. This can go all the way down. Okay, there's my little doorway. And really I can use this to kind of attach them, put this on the bottom, or I can cut it off and just glue them. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So they're just going to be able to come from right here through here to exit over there. I'm going to cut this about the same height. That part really doesn't matter. Here is my see-through tunnel. Notice I'm doing all of this. I'm cutting all the holes and stuff before I decide how to decorate it. I'll decide how to decorate it later. Okay. This guy, let's see, we'll do this one last. This one, let's do the bottom. So, kind of like that. We'll do that and then have this one sticking out. So, we need to cut a hole in this side. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did before. I'm just going to do it on the side so this can be the top. Here's my entrance. If I want to get super creative, I can turn this into a drawbridge with some string. Okay, and the next part of this is I want them to be able to climb out of this and get into this. So I'm going to do in the middle of it, I'm going to make a hole. Now this is going to be pretty big, but enough for, we want it big enough so that the cat can, you know, have some surface over on this one. Ollie has found a piece of cardboard and is now helping. Okay, he can fit through that, and I think my bigger cat can probably do it comfortably too. Okay. So here is number one. I also need to cut a hole in the side for this guy so the cats can get through here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So next I'm going to do this. Like that. Looks a little better, be easier to paint. So I need a hole in this about the same size as a hole in that. If you want to be exact, you can turn it upside down and get a pencil. All I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and it's going to be kind of awkward. I want it on this side, just over like this, where I want it to hit. Let's see. This is the front. This is the front there. I want it right here. So I've lined it up like I want it. I'm just going to go in here and draw a circle traced around this hole. Okay, here's my circle. I'm going to cut that out. Okay, here is my hole. This should fit on here, just like that, pretty perfectly. And next, I can't really do a hole into this because the bed fits in this perfectly. So this is going to be a hop-on situation. So this is just going to be glued to the top. And I thought it might be fun to leave the flaps on and kind of make it a little dog-proof. But I'm not going to do that because that also might end up cat-proof. So I'm going to cut these flaps off. Okay, now I've got all of my entrances and exits cut. One thing I do want to do is I want to put some windows in. Actually, this side I'm just going to do a flap. So to make a flap, I'm just going to do 3 sides of the window. This way I'm going to leave it like this, and that way they can back out because cats enjoy doing things like that, huh, Ollie? Okay, all of my cutting's done. Now, all I need to do is decorate it and put it together. I'm going to decorate it first, and then I'm going to stick it together, but I'm also going to keep in mind the surfaces that are going to be stuck to other surfaces, like the bottom of this and the top of that and stuff like that. So, also, might not paint the back, but we'll see. Okay, I am back with paper towels. I have removed my cutting surface because I don't want it to be further covered with paint, and I'd just rather get the paint on this craft paper. So the cats are both helping today by going to the litter box. Okay, that's everything painted. Now I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry. Pretty sure everything is going to be dry except for this guy at this point. I'm going to go wash my brush. If you use acrylic paint on anything, wash your brush ASAP because if the paint dries on it, the brush is ruined. So I'm going to go wash my brush, give this a couple minutes, pick up the paint, and then we'll add a couple more decorations, and then we will stick all this stuff together. Okay, I've gotten all of these painted on the outside. Again, if you want less to show through, less cardboard to show through, give it another coat. So at this point, we can put in any other kind of embellishment you want to put on there. Now, I have paint markers, but if you don't want to use paint markers, use whatever you have. Sharpies are great. Just about anything. You can glue stuff on, like, I don't know, junk mail even. You can glue pictures on it, glue pictures of your cats on it. You can make it into a castle and make window boxes and stuff like that. I'm not going to do all of that today. What I am going to do is I'm going to check and make sure this is dry, which it is. And I'm going to make it clear that this is a kitty castle and not a doggo castle. So I'm going to write on here let's see what I got. Here's a nice kind of big purple one. I'm going to shake it up and make sure it's working. And then I'm going to write on top, kitties only. Okay, I've made my little sign. It says kitties only and no doggos allowed. Not that my doggos could fit into here because I have 2 big black labs. But it's the thought. Okay, so all that's left is we need to stick these things together. I'm going to cut off some things like this door, the ones that really aren't practical. Okay, so to connect this, all I'm going to do So I have this. This is the front. And I'm going to move this guy over here. And I'm going to get this guy. And let's see. Put this, I know, right in front of the mic, into here. There we go. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to glue it. Here's my cat castle. I think it's super cute. Now, don't think you have to stop where I did. I did a minimum of decoration. You can also decorate the inside. Like, your cats might want a nice art gallery from either stuff you've printed out or magazines or something that you've painted yourself. That would be super fun. You can go all out and like carpet it with paper and do all kinds of stuff for your cats. Now, I'm not going to disturb Ollie right there since he looks so cute in his bed right now. But once he does get up, the bed's going to go on here. And hopefully they will use this thing for a little bit. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. If you make one of these things, take a picture of it and share it with the library's social media. It'll be a super fun time seeing what you guys make. Thank you so much for joining me. I've had a great time. Ollie over there has had a great time. And I can't wait to do something like this again. Thanks for watching. Bye.